Hello and welcome to Sparks of Tutorials. In this section you will learn about how to create multiple forms in Visual C#.NET. There are not many programs that have only one form. Most programs have other forms that are accessible from the main one that loads at startup. In this section you will learn how to create programs with more than one form. The program we create is a very simple one. It will have a main form with a text box and a button. So when the user clicks the button, it will launch a second form. On the second form, will allow the user to change the case of the text in the text box which is on the form 1. So let me show you a small demo. This is actually the main form, and here is a text box which possesses some text. The button is change case, which on clicks launches the second forms, and this is the second form, and this is the main form. Now here we are allowing user to select one of these three cases. So when the user selects uppercase, okay, boom, all the text is capitalized. Now the lowercase to small letters, in the proper case, which is the most interesting one, the first letter of each word will be capitalized. So now ahead we are going to learn how to develop it, coding it, and then we'll debug it. So I'm using the Visual Studio 2008 tool to design it and to run it. So this is the text box and this is the button. So design it and name this text box as txt change case. And by default, give some text over there so that you need not type all the time. And for this button, give the object name as BDM form 2, so that on the click of this form, on the click of this button, we're launching the second form. Now we designed with the first form. Now to add the second form is the very easiest thing, but to show it in the application is completely different matter. So right click your project name, go to add, and then click on Windows form. Now here is the dialog which will add a Windows form to you. Keep it form 2 as by default. Here we are ready with the form 2, and to design it as we have shown in the demo, first drop two buttons and then drop a group box, just give some room for this group box, and then drag and drop or double click three radio buttons. Make it very simple, and this group box, give it the text as select case, and for the radio button 1, name it as uppercase. For the next, lowercase, and for the third, proper case. So we are ready with some part now. Name this button as OK, and this is cancel. Now we have to add another property for this cancel button as the dialog result say cancel. Now we're ready with the form too. So what actually view planning is, so when the user selects, for example, uppercase and say OK, so the text over here should be capitalized. But the problem is this text box is not available to this form too. Keep in mind that forms are classes. So now, in order to show a form, another form, and click at this button, so we have to give the following code. So double click this button, give some room for code, and now first of all we have to instantiate object for form2 class. So form2 is my form goes to new form2. Now as we have instantiate the object, but still we want to call the show method. So my form dot show dialog. We are ready with showing the second form. Now to access this text box to the form2 class, we have to provide some of the following code. So give it this line, public static text box TV is equals to new text box. Now I'm going to explain you what is public. Public makes this text box available for the project outside this class. And for static, the advantage is that we need not instantiate, we will not be able to instantiate this text box in a form2 class. Now still we have declared the TB object as public and static, but we did not make it accessible to the form2. To do that, double click on the empty space in the main form, and then make this TB as txt change case, so that this TB will be available for the form2 class. Now we have done with these things over there. Now come to form2 and click the OK button. Double click the OK button. So what exactly we do here is we check first which radio button was clicked. To do that, we use some if-else statements. So if radio button dot checked equals to true, what you have to do is when the radio button 1 dot check true. So this should be uppercase. So before that, I want to declare a string change case is equals to this string is nothing but the text from the text box of the form1. So do that form1 dot tb dot text. So the text of the text box 1 from the form1 will be loaded in the string change case, and from here we can change the case of the string is equals to change case dot to upper. Okay, we did that thing. Now for the lowercase, see that radio button dot to checked equals to true, and here the change case is equals to change case dot to lower. Okay. Unfortunately, C# does not have a direct string method to change text to proper case or title case. In order to get proper case, you have to make a reference of two system namespaces, one called globalization and the other is called as threading. So add the following references at the top of your coding. So using system.globalization, and the next one is using system.thread. So we have declared two references here, but the usage of that references, sorry, here else and okay. Now we're perfect with that thing. Okay, now other else if see the radio button 3 checked equals to true. Now that we have the two references which we added, so now the next thing to do is to set up something called a culture info object. Culture info, and the object name we can give it as, now for example, proper case is equals to thread dot current thread dot current culture. So the current culture tells you information about various languages options of your particular country. The object we created for the culture info is proper case. That's not the end of this though. You also need a text info object. So text info, and this object is nothing but text info. Text info object is equals to proper case text info. What we did here is it's a text info object that has the methods. We are setting up a text info object called text info object. We are handing it to the text info property of our proper case culture info object. So now we can change the case of the text, that is the string change case, is equals to text info object dot to title case, and in this parenthesis we are providing, you can see over here, string str. So what is the string is, and where is the change case. Okay, so text info object has a method called to title case, and between the parentheses of the method you put a string what you want to convert. Now to apply this change into the form 1, we use this code. So form 1.tb.text is equals to change case. So this will assign the text box, the text of the text box, the form 1, with this modified change case string. After this, add this dot dialog result is equals to dialog result dot okay. We'll start with debugging. So here you can see that our form has some text by default. So click this button, we see a form 2, and just select the uppercase, okay, lowercase, okay, uppercase, okay. So our code and our application is working fine. So if you just like the tutorial, just drop me a comment, give me a thumbs up. If you want some suggestions to me, give suggestions through comments, and some more tutorials are to become. And this is Jawad from Sparksoft, thanking you.